this is Yvonne from Yvonne Ceramics. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to hand build a Christmas tree like this one here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos each week. Let's take a look at our Christmas tree. So this is basically a cone shape, and I've got some ice cream decorations on here, which is actually using the silicone mold I got from online. And then these are slip decorations that I put on here. And to make the shape of this Christmas tree, I've got this template here that I print out, or you can just draw online. So basically it is a triangle, and the bottom, instead of a straight line, it is a curved line. So if you want your Christmas tree to be taller, your template will have to be taller, something like this. And the width of the base here, so here, would determine how wide your Christmas tree is. So if your template is like, the width is about this much, your Christmas tree will be more narrow. So if you want a wider Christmas tree, you want the base here to be a bit wider. You can also print out a template from online, and I'll include a website that I like to use. It's called Template Maker. I'll include that in the description of this video so you can check out that website. Okay, so let's get started in making this Christmas tree. So I'm starting off with rolling out a slab of clay. I'm using Platzman M370 white stoneware, which fires to cone 6, so it's a mid-fire clay. So I've got 2 sticks here to help me roll out this clay to about 1/4 of an inch thickness. After I rolled out my clay, I'm going to put my template onto my clay and then trace it. So I want to make sure I'm using majority of the clay. So I just have a basic paring knife here. Just going to cut this clay. The reason why my template has a curve here is because once we join the 2 edges together, the Christmas tree will be able to stand nicely instead of standing on its side. So I'm going to today demonstrate. I'll try to demonstrate a few different styles of Christmas tree, hoping that would inspire you to make your own Christmas tree. So after I've cut out my cones, now I'm going to bevel the edges. So I am just doing it at a 45-degree angle along one side. And then I'm going to flip it to the other side. And then I'm going to bevel again. Then I'm going to use my serrated edge rip and score here. And I'm going to pick this up now and score this side as well, because I'm going to join these 2 together. Then I dip my small paintbrush with water and just put some water on this edge. I'm going to start by joining the bottom first. Like so. So I'm slowly just kind of pushing the edge together. When you get to the top here, you can just kind of close it off like that. And then I have this very useful tool I got from Amazon. I think they use it to make waffle cones for ice cream, but it's perfect for when you need to press this edge down when you're making a cone. Okay, so after I pressed it down, I'm using my yellow rib here to smooth out this area, this edge here. You want to just smooth it out lightly. You don't want to scrape away too much clay. Once you're done, sometimes there's a little bit of extra clay over here on the bottom, so you can just cut it off like that. Okay, so basically that's good for my cone. Okay, so I'm just going to let this sit aside while I finish off the other cones. Alright, so I finished making a few cones. Next, I'm going to fix the seam in here so you can see the seam on the inside. You want to smooth that out, so I have a small wooden tool dipped in water. I'm just going to smooth out the inside seam. The reason why you want to smooth it out is to prevent cracking, and also it just makes it more polished, because when people look on the bottom, on the inside, they can't really see the seam. And at this time you can also smooth the bottom here, just make it nicer. Okay, and then there's these areas that you can also smooth it out. So right now basically doing a little bit of polishing, make it nice on the outside and inside of the cone. So the next part is to add decoration. So I got this silicone mold from online. You can get it from Amazon, AliExpress. There are lots of these silicone mold. So first I have some clay ball that I rolled out, and I'm just going to push this clay ball in here like that. And then you'll notice there is some excess clay around here. So you don't want that. So you want to just use your finger to kind of smooth out. So take out those excess clay until there's only the shape of that candy is left. Okay, and then we'll do another one here. So push the clay into the mold like so. So push it in, and then wipe off any of the excess that's on the outside. So it's pretty easy, right? So just push it in and move the clay around, make sure it fills the mold. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do the rest. Next, I'm going to add the slip decoration. So here I have a slip trailer bulb, and inside I've got some slip. It is more liquidy than I like. So if you were going to do slip trailing, you want a more thicker consistency. So we're going to see how it is today. So I'm just going to squeeze it out like so. Okay, because it's the consistency of the slip is more liquidy, so I'm going to let it dry and then I'll go ahead and do the rest. So this is a second Christmas tree. I'm going to demonstrate a carving technique on creating texture on a tree. So I have a small loop tool here. I'm going to start at the top. So just carving random marks from the top to create texture. So when you have a texture on the Christmas tree, it will go really well with green that showed like different color on texture. So for example, the Amaco texture turquoise would look very nice because it's green, and then when this texture it has a little bit of yellow. So I'm just gonna keep carving texture on the tree. So it doesn't have to be symmetrical because it's handmade, so we're going to just carve out marks to create that texture. So I finished carving the tree. I'm just gonna use a small paintbrush dipped in water to go over on the surface so that get rid of any sharp edges and get rid of any clay bits that was left on the surface to make it smooth. So the surface of this tree is looking a little bit plain and boring, so I'm going to put these little balls onto the surface so they are kind of like the Christmas tree light. So I'm going to score the back of these balls and then put a little bit of water and then just stick it on and then push it down like that, and then just repeat on each ball. And that's the reason why this tool is so helpful, is because when I push down the ball, I won't warp the shape of this tree. So just push it down like that. So when I'm glazing, I'm going to glaze the ball with different colors because you want to make it bright and colorful and cheery for Christmas. Okay, almost done. So that's good. So that's my first tree that I have. I think I'll add a little star here as well. Next, I have this mini extruder with just a round die here. I'm gonna extrude a coil. For the next design here, I'm going to use my scoring rib to score out the design here, and then I'm gonna put the coil on where I scored it out. So I've kind of scored out where I want to put the coil. Then I'm going to put some water where I scored it. Then I have my coil here. I'm going to start with right here. Just gonna press it down. This is where it ends. Okay, then after putting this coil on, I can use my small wooden tool to press it down to blend it into the tree. Okay, so I can, after blending it into the tree, I can use my wet paintbrush again to smooth that out. So in this design, the tree looks like there's a kind of layer of snow on here. That's the image I want to create. Then the next layer, I'm gonna do it here on kind of mid layer. So kind of, you want to do a bigger circle, because a bigger curve here, because it would be hard to bend the coil around a smaller curve. So continuing on here, oh, make sure there's some water on here, and then putting the coil, pressing it down. Okay, then we will use the same wooden tool and blending it. Make sure when you have the coil joint, you need to make sure that is connected well as well. So that's why I like the small wooden tool, because it can really get into areas that are hard to do with my finger. Okay, so that's about it. Then I'm gonna use my paintbrush, smooth that out. You want to smooth the underside here as well. Okay, so I got 2 layers. Now at this point, you can do one more layer here, or you can leave it at that. Okay, let's get back to our first design where I put the slip trail on the tree. So now it's kind of dried up. So this is great. I can now put the candies onto the tree. So I'm just going to score the back of these guys. And then I'm just gonna take this off and pop these guys, because the silicone mold is flexible. I just have to kind of lightly flex it, and then it comes out perfectly like that. So it looks like that. I love the details on the mold. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of water on here. And because I need to press it onto the tree, so I need to put it back on this wooden thing, and I'm just going to press it on like that. So you want to press it on, make sure it's firm, and then I'm gonna use my little paintbrush to seal the edges as well. Okay, that's one, and then let's do the next one. Let's get the ice cream here. Let's put it on here. So when it's on the edge, because the tree is curved, you want to press it down, make sure all the edges is touching the tree. That's why you don't want to leave the clay on the mold for too long, or else it'll get too dry and then it'll break when you try to manipulate the candy on the tree. Okay, let's do the next one. So when you're picking out mold to put on things, you want to make sure the mold is not too complex, because I have seen some silicone mold where it's very deep, or some that are hiding underneath the silicone mold. Those one would be more challenging to take out, especially when we are using it for clay. So if it's your first time using silicone mold, you want to pick something that is a little bit easier to work with. So a simpler design. Okay. So at this point, I am done with the tree, so I'll show you all the trees. So this one was the first design with the slip design and the candy on the surface. And let me take this off. The second design is the carved tree with the little ball light and a star on the top. And the third design we have is the coil around the tree and a star on the top. For all the trees, you can use a hole puncher to poke holes onto the tree, so that you can put a light in it at the end of the glaze firing. And since I have added a lot of elements on these trees, I want to make sure I am slow drying them. So I'll show you how I would do that. So right here I have the tree on a bed, and this is just a piece of plastic. So in order to have it slow dry, I'm going to cover the tree in plastic, and then overnight it will slowly dry under the plastic. And tomorrow I'm going to open the plastic and then check to see if there's any crack or anything, because tomorrow after drying it overnight, it should reach about leather hard. So if I need to do any final adjustment, that would be a good time to do so. So how this works is just like that, so covering in plastic, and then I'll push the plastic under the bed as well, so that it is sealed. So just like that. So that's it for today's tutorial. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.